The great Oz has spoken. Oh, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
G'day everyone, it's Oz here. Just wanted to make a quick point of attention. Apart from being sick, I've got no. Dorothy's ill at the moment, poor little thing. She had the vomits this morning, projectile vomited. So I was happy enough to be wearing the first vomit that she's ever done. Well, anyway. Look, what I want to do this post about, if on Facebook you happen to be a subscriber to JW News, and I'll magically have that appear across the bottom of the screen, which is an excellent Facebook page that I thought it was from the Watchtower Society. So I was commenting on everything, just slash and burn, put link to JW Facts at every opportunity, until I realised it was actually an apostate site. But hey, that doesn't matter. Lots of JWs go there saying, oh, you know, commenting about the magazines, isn't it wonderful, loving provisions from Jehovah. So I put my 2 bits worth in and link to JW Facts. But anyway, one of the recent ones that came up on there was the Watchtower study article for April 2015, and usual tripe, but one of the articles jumped out that I felt needed to be discussed and brought to attention, and it's the article, Why Disfellowshipping is a Loving Provision. A bit of an oxymoron, but anyway. So, of course, if you happen to have nothing better to do and download it and read, or read it online, there's one thing that they always ignore. Always ignore the fact of those who leave the Jehovah's Witnesses cult through doctrinal issues. The ones don't agree with the teaching, or they can see biblically that what the governing body put out is inaccurate, outright lies, or just distortion of facts. So of course they never mention anyone who disagrees with the Watchtower Society as being a reason for disfellowshipping. Always it's about immorality or bad practice, whatever. But what got my attention was part of it. The article was, it says disfellowshipping may bring the wrongdoer to his senses. And I hate that this example, when they use that parable that Jesus, supposedly Jesus, if he did, or whoever claims to be Jesus, said about the prodigal son, and that he squandered his inheritance, led a debauched life, then down on his luck, lost everything, wanted to come back. So this is where they're saying that that change of heart is what could bring someone back to Jehovah. But I'd just like to throw in there that about the parable, that in that whole scenario, if you're aware of that parable, who does the Watchtower Society and the elders and the attitude play? Are they the loving father, or are they that hard-hearted brother who criticized the father for extending mercy? And if that were true, how does the modern day enactment of that parable, when someone comes back to Jehovah, let's say they are really sorry and they're still brainwashed and don't realize that it's a cult, and they come back, instead of being thrown arms wide, rejoice that they're back, brought back into the fold, imagine that their father in the parable sees the son at a distance and runs to meet him, but locks the gate, says, right, you got to stay outside the gate, we'll let you look in, you can listen to what the family's doing, but you can't talk to us, we can't talk to you, can't eat with you until we feel that you're sorry enough that you're back, and view you with skepticism, which, if you've read the Shepherd the Flock of God book, if you read that chapter on reinstatement, that they are to view with skepticism anyone who returns. Now, that's understandable because, hey, the elders and the governing body know what they're preaching is crap, that anyone who leaves, of course they have to question the motives of coming back, because if you've left and you have spent 5 minutes on the internet, on Google, you'll know that there's something wrong, seriously wrong with the Watchtower. So anyway, so they question those motives. So anyway, back to this article. And they use this illustration, and when I read this, I'll read it to you. It says, to illustrate, imagine a hiker who succumbs to exhaustion on a cold winter day. He begins to suffer from hypothermia and he feels drowsy. If he falls asleep in the snow, he will die. While waiting for a rescue party, his companion occasionally slaps him in the face to keep him awake. The slap may sting, but it could well save his life. Similarly, David, talking about King David, who didn't exist, recognized that a righteous person might need to give him painful correction for his own good. So that's a loving thing. It's just weird to use that as an illustration. And yeah, you know, you got to hurt someone because you love them. Cruel to be kind? Just it didn't sit right with me. But maybe that's my opinion. I don't know. You can't be cruel to be kind to your children if it's you love them. But the last part of the article is the loving way to deal with disfellowship ones. And they throw the word love pretty much in this article everywhere, trying to make, you know, what is it, loving to override human, natural human feelings, to have unconditional love for your children. How you could ever turn your back on them, I'll never know. But it covers articles how the elders have that sad task of communicating a disfellowship one's decision to them, how that's Jehovah's love. Then it's how family members can show love by respecting that decision, you know. And then all in the congregation are instigated to avoid contact and conversation with the disfellowship one, because that'll reinforce to the person that, you know, discipline is from Jehovah. So yeah, they're whacked. But anyway, and of course they've got interspersed the examples of ones who've been shunned for 10 years and have come back, and they're so grateful that their family did it because they never have returned to Jehovah. Well, you know, I feel sorry for them because they obviously stayed brainwashed and didn't combat that cult indoctrination that they face. So anyway, that's just no surprise there, of course, and I know to you all it's not a surprise, but you know, this is 15th of April, so I dare say they'll be, I'm not sure when they'll be studying that, but you know, it's just turn up a notch, one more notch in the, you know, break up family relations, that, you know, you can't have any contact with disfellowship ones. But hey, it's their loss. You know, we're the better people for having left, having woken up. It's sad that we have to lose family, but that's just the way it goes. But the thing is, we need to be strong, be here, ready for our family and friends who will wake up eventually. It's going to take time. Some won't, but there's always, you know, the hope that some will. So we need to be here, provide the support groups through Facebook, provide the education through YouTube, direct people to websites like JW Facts and Free Minds and JW the Survey, all those sites. The thing is, we need to be educated. We need to keep ourselves on top of what the Watchtower is putting out, because then we can understand the reactions and the behaviour of the ones that we love who are still trapped in the cult. But anyway, that was my thought, and thanks for listening, and I look forward to talking to you all again. I've got a few book reviews coming up, so I'll see you then. So thanks for listening. Bye.
Now go away or I shall taunt you a second time.